Hey up guys, back again. Been a while, just haven't had a busy week. So yeah, Manga Mondays episode 2. Yeah, let's just get straight into it. First up, Moebana Ch.12. So in this one, the fight starts. Well, the tournament contest, whatever, and people are way more hyped than I expected. And I guess I kind of expected people to just be like, yes, nice, not woo, but eh. Um, Dewakuni can't perform because he's scared because it's a big social situation, and it's kind of adorable. He's like trying to combat it, like, oh my god, you're making me feel for this guy, dang it. And you got Fukakusa trying to take the lead, but he's not sure what to do. He's like, mood. And one of the things I do find interesting about Ikebana is that it's all in the moment. You can't really pre-plan. You have to do it all on the fly. It's an interesting. It's an interesting aspect I wouldn't have expected, and because I would have imagined that would be something you would spend hours and hours plotting over, but no. And Diego and his friend went and put rocks in to enhance the flowers, and wow, the fact I find that sentence slightly interesting at my age and not 50 years from now is slightly worrying. So yeah, it was a decent chapter. What I do like is that they made the quote-unquote edgy rival character have actual issues with social interaction instead of just being kind of a dick. Because that's only how those characters go. But instead it's like, he's not a dickhead. I mean, he kind of was when we first met him, but it's not like he's just a prick. He's clearly got, like, issues. Social stuff. I'll be honest, I'm, like, already knackered and need to go to bed. So next up, Kaiju number 8, chapter 70. So some dude who works in the monster disposal is walking his daughter down the aisle. I'm like, I don't really see what this has to do with anything. And oh shit, a monster shows up at the wedding. And I'm like, oh fuck, I think the entire party just got killed. Fucking hell. And then all these reports coming from all over Tokyo and then all over the country. And you get all these cool looking monster designs. And the pangolin looking one, something, near Hachioji City, those are fucking great. And then the party didn't get killed, but the groom got wounded, which is no surprise because he was right at the front. And then another monster shows up and grabs the bride, and then the dad like bites his hand, and then I thought he was going to turn out to be a monster, but no, he was offering himself. But the monster just bites his daughter and starts to swallow it. But then Nuri shows up and decapitates the monster, saving her. And I was just like, fucking hell. So this is like how they start off this arc with the battle, like. Fair play, I guess. That was just wow. That was a lot. Like, I don't want anything. Oh, I don't think I care about these characters. We've only seen it. And it's like, oh god, just the daughter is like, that daughter is fucked. Like, even if she survives, it's like that thing was full on chomping on her. Like, she's got deep flesh wounds. Like, she still might not make it. So that's a good start to this because you're kicking things off with a bang. That's certainly true. And yeah, I like it. I'm surprised Narumi didn't kill the last, like the way he decapitated that thing, that was damn close to her as well. So next up was Black Clover chapter 338. Yep. Oh, I don't think I mentioned it, but Kaiju number 8 getting a anime, just yay. I assumed it was gonna happen, but I don't know, I kind of expected it, maybe it wasn't because it was just been so long. But the way that's going, I'm kind of expecting it to maybe. I feel like this might be the last arc, and it's only going to be a short thing. In which case, if it's only like a 2-3 season arc thing, like the second arc, like the first season is all the initial stuff, and then the second season is the big battle, and this third season is the end game. I'd be down with that. So yeah, actually back to. Well, starting Black Clover chapter 338. So Ryuya, or Ryu as he says, is basically on the level of the Wizard King in terms of rank of seniority, which isn't surprising. And there's also the fact that Ryu can mean dragon makes me wonder. Like, I could totally see something dragon related because we have the fire spirit is a dragon, but we haven't had any actual dragons. We had sea dragon roar, so I'm like, it would make sense if we got like a full-on dragon. It'd be cool if like that was just a thing exclusive to the Land of the Sun, but only that only they had it, but Legends made it across to the continent. And so this lady that was there the whole time is called Ichika, and she doesn't like Asta, and he thinks she seems familiar, and when I first looked at her I thought she kind of looked like Sister Lily, but we'll get back to that. And Ryu's just kind of like, let's just go for a tour around the country to give you, tour around town to give you, explain, monologue. And I'm like, shouldn't we be concentrating on getting stuff sorted? He's way too chill about this, because he thinks, oh, Lucius won't make his move yet, and it's like, alright. So instead of grimoires, they use scrolls to perform yojutsu, which is what they call magic, and I get slightly confused when he says, and your magic is called yorioku, which I first thought he meant like specifically when you're referring to someone else's or an individual magic, or I don't know if he means that or the Clover Kingdom's magic style itself. But I think it's when it's just your own personal magic is the point. And then we get the whole thing where he says, no more potatoes, or is basically potatoes. The Haag speciality. I'm like, okay, something's fishy is up. How did these potatoes make it all the way to Haag specifically? Again, this is why I kind of half think that Sister Lee might have been a secret agent of some kind this entire time. And there's that, and there's also like one thing I do wonder about the whole Clover Kingdom. Like, you've got the 4 kingdoms. Is that just one big island? Because in my head it was like a peninsula of a continent, and like there was a wider continent beyond the Spade Kingdom. So those dudes, the Bad News Badgers, show up, and it's just like, wow, that name is awful. You deserve to be beaten for that, and we get that. And Ryu says he has no yorioku, so no magic, which is like, how does that work? Like, does he have anti-magic as well? Which would make sense. I could see it, but I'm also like, I don't know. And then each takes these guys out with some kind of thunder stun technique, but it also looks like there was darks coming off it, so like, Dark Thunder? Or Black Thunder just played a Mongol Horde song. That'd be meant. And then they said she's one of the Ryu Zen 7, so again, Ryu could be dragon. I don't know. I kind of want there just to be dragons. But then they say Lady Yami, and I'm like, wait, what? Oh, it's Yami's little sister? Holy fuck. And then I was like, of course, that's who she looks like. They have the same glower. So clearly this is going to be the training arc time, because the Ryu literally just says, oh, Asta, we'll just get the Ryu Zen 7 to train you. So, although one thing I'm starting to wonder, given I think he has spies in the Clover Kingdom, what if one of the Ryu Zen 7 has been a spy this entire time, is actually like a high-ranking officer? Like, there's a bunch of different ones that could be. I mean, God, it could be. I'm trying to think. I've gone brain dead on here. Could be anyone. So, the way each could kind of fought with like channeling thunder into a fist or something. Like, do these guys use hand-to-hand combat more than Clover? Like, maybe that's what it is. Maybe there are just ninjas, and there's like a ninja technique. Maybe it's kind of like Yoruichi in Bleach, and she just fights with her hands more than actual magic. Well, channeling magic in a different way. That'd be cool. Or maybe you can like actually use your ki in that sense, but who knows. And then one thing I had to wonder was, well, she might have the same music, same magic as Yami, but also like she's called Lady Yami as in Ichika Yami. And then like, so was Yami just the surname this entire time, or was he like Sukehiro Yami and we've all been calling him Yami and actually that was his surname this whole time? I assumed Yami was his first name. But now I'm like wondering like, what's the deal here? Yami was Yami's alias just his surname? So this is all very interesting. I think we're just going to carry on with Asta for now and just find out more about this country. And I think maybe we'll get a hint as to what happened to Yami and why he left this kingdom. So next is My Hero Academia chapter 366. So Tomura's body can't handle what he's trying to become, so it morphs into this hands monster. And he just straight up uppercuts the fuck out of Mirko and then Nejire. And Mirio's just like, oh, I can't do anything. Which is all just like, yeah, what do you expect? And then one of the Pussycats tells him to drop the barrier, and it's like, there's only one reason they do that. I wonder what this could be. So Mirio has to try and keep his attention, so his way to do this is to throw it back. To just shove his ass into Tomura's face. And you know what? It's amazing. It's so funny because it works. It's so damn confusing. It just distracts Tomura. And I realised it's just the sexy reverse harem jutsu from Naruto, but in a different. And you know what? It's just as funny here. Like, as much as my problems with Kaguya were, that was one of the funniest moments. Maybe up there, like top 3 funniest moments in all of Naruto. That was amazing when that happened. So this was also hilarious. And why was it done? Oh, for Deku to arrive. And I'm like, fuck yes. And he just shoots in full on Spidey style with the black whip, like a web spring, and just sends Tomura spinning. And it's like, fuck yes. And like, the thing about My Hero Academia, I've just been avoiding like the Reddit and stuff because it's just got so miserable and everyone's just so down on this. I'm like, I don't care. I'm enjoying what it is. Like, I know it's not what everyone's, and I agree, it's not. It feels like they're kind of rushing things, and it's annoying. But sorry. I'm enjoying it. I enjoyed this chapter, and the one thing I don't get is with Bakugo and the whole stuff happening with what should we call him? Edshot. Like, why is Edshot doing all this? For me, the obvious solution is you've got Momo there, and she knows her stuff down to a scientific level. Why not just have her create a heart for Bakugo to replace his, and then Denki use his lightning as a kickstarter to literally kickstart Bakugo's new heart and keep him going? Because that way Momo is actually relevant beyond just being a background character like everyone else. Like, for me, that was so clearly what should have happened, and I'm just kind of bummed she's in the background, but that seemed a way to go for me. But we'll see. But obviously the main thing now, we're going to get Deku versus Tomura, and the thing is, obviously Deku's going to look around and see everything that's happened, and nobody sees Bakugo. He's gonna go fucking ape shit, and I am interested to see how that goes. Because I'm just wondering how this is going to go. Because for me, the whole thing should have been All for One. Shouldn't be the end villain. It should be Tomura. It's clearly set up to be. All for One's still around. It's just like, just kill the guy off already and let's have Tomura be the main villain like he's meant to be. But that's a whole other kettle of fish. Anyway, let's get on with it. Akane-Banashi, chapter 30. So Shigama, Akane's teacher, doesn't accept the decision Arakawa made all those years ago, which is not surprising. And then it turns out that Akane's dad, I forget his name, could have carried on. Like, he could have just applied at another Rakugo school. But he felt he'd be betraying Shikama to go elsewhere, which is like nice. Though I think really the feeling I got from this was that he was just too broken by that point. He just admitted defeat and gave in. So she accepts why her dad did this, and is about as okay as she can be with it. And I did like when she's at school, her former bully slash now friend is like assuming she would just start shit. I realised I forgot the bully mixed up with the other mentor teacher guy from Shigama's other apprentice. I got them confused. But I find it funny that the friend slash former bully was like, oh yeah, I knew you'd win. I just assumed you'd start shit with Arakawa. It's just that moment of vengeance for my dad. It's like, that was a funny panel. And she admits she wanted to, but that was like, nah, but then that doesn't prove to him that he's wrong like I want him to. And I'm like, okay, that's nice. Kind of a nice acknowledgement of that, because that would have, like, if you turn around and this whole thing, she just turned around and gone, try to humiliate him and be like, you did this to my dad, fuck you. I would not blame her, but I'm glad that she's going this worse about it. And now it seems that she's going viral, which is interesting. And yeah, I like this chapter. It was melancholic, as obviously it was sadness for how things ended with her dad's career, but still some hope, but not in that overdone like bullshit way. It felt like well done. And like, although I am still kind of half expecting for it to turn out her dad is dead. Like, I honestly think her dad might have died from overworking or something. Or if he's not dead, he might just be genuinely like broken as a man, and it's gonna hurt either way if it's anything like I expect it to be, which now I say it could, it very well might not be. So the final chapter is One Piece chapter 1060. And of course, Luffy doesn't believe that Sabo would kill Cobra, and it's like, yeah, why? His issue is, as I said, it's with the 10 Yubito, not with the 20 Kings. And Cobra was a good guy. And I love that even the sea monsters hear Luffy kicking off about this, and they're like, what the fuck is going on? And that Zoro has to be the voice of reason holding Luffy back. And I'm like, I wonder if this would have happened if they'd been around for Marineford. Like, although given how things went with Ace, I can understand Luffy wanting to intervene this time. Like, I lost one brother, I'm not losing another kind of thing. But yeah, he's not thinking rationally, so someone has to tell him. And when there's a, I don't think I've ever heard of Alabasta suffering under misrule, and it's like, oh boy, we've got a whole arc to recap for you, Brook, which the anime probably will do. So we got a moment where Zoro gets called Crappy Mosshead by Sanji, and then he just goes, shut up, 4th place. And it's just, oh god, someone gets Sanji aloe vera for that burn, because that was like, Natsu just walked into the damn place and said everything alike. Oh my god, that was so good. It was so cold as well. And I love that Luffy is mad at Buggy for becoming an emperor. He's like Luffy's an idiot, but even he's like, this is bollocks. Buggy is not worthy of this. It's just funny. And then we get this moment of Luffy being like, oh, what my dream is, and we don't hear it, but we see everyone's reactions, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this dream of Luffy's that's so ridiculous? Because it's like, I just don't know anymore. Like, I can't think of anything it could be. And of course we skip over and find out Sabo didn't kill Cobra, which is no surprise. And Sabo's trying to tell the Revolutionary Army about Insama, and then he seems he's on the Leloucha Kingdom Island, and he gets nuked. But as everyone has said, it's clear Sabo wasn't even on the island, because everyone else was looking up at this light, and Sabo was looking sideways. So I think if he was on the island, he was at the very edge, or I think he might have been on a boat nearby, more likely. So that entire island just got fucking nuked. What the hell? And as everyone else said, it's probably Uranus, one of the ancient weapons. Like, who knows at this point? I mean, it's probably that. But oh my god. Like, I fully expect that to be used to try and wipe out the Straw Hats at one point. Just a giant laser nuke thing. And so, meanwhile, the Straw Hats a few days later are going to to a snowy island. Not sure which one. I think everyone's just expecting Elbaf, but I don't think Elbaf would be specifically snowy. Although if it's based on Scandinavia like we expect, it would make sense to have a lot of snow. And you see a warm eddy, just looks like it's floating in the air almost, which is weird. And then there's someone inside it, and Zora cuts it, and it's Jewelry Bunny! It's like, fuck yes. And I hope she's in this arc for a while at least. We get the dialogue, we get like, because she does a bunch of questions about everyone, but especially her, like, what's her deal? Is she actually secretly super old? She broke into Marishwa and was mad about Kuma. What's her connection with Kuma? Why was Blackbeard like desperate to like lock her up, to chain her up, whatever? And why did Akainu want her? Did I say Akainu and Blackbeard? I meant Blackbeard first. So why did Akainu want her? Because even Akainu's always a threat, which is like, fucking hell, if Akainu sees you as a danger to the world, that's not good for anyone. So, and one of the things I forgot, Caribou's on the ship. He's only in it for like 2 panels, but he's chained up in a barrel, and it's like, do they know it's Caribou in there? And they've looked at it. Did I forget something where Caribou got captured by the Straw Hats, or has he just like sneaked on board? This is weird. Because Caribou would have helped Luffy anyway. Well, he did. So why would they lock him up unless he was sneaking about? So maybe he's sneaking about? I don't know. That's weird. So yeah, that's, wow, so much there, but mostly the Lelouch Kingdom has been cut off from existence. What the fuck happened there? What happened to Sabo? I mean, he obviously survived, but like specifically, I think chapter of the week for me, probably gonna be One Piece. Just holy fuck, that ending. Not ending, the whole thing was just mental. I just, there's so many questions every week with One Piece. You have questions, you get a few answers, but you get just as many brought in. So yep, see what happens next week, because I don't think I want a break. So yeah, see you guys next week for next episode is bye.